year is 2021, and Libsyn launches the latest podcast on the Borgcast Galactica feed. In a freak mishap, Borgcast Galactica and its hosts, Peter and Anne-Marie, are blown out of their trajectory to re-emerge as Borg Rogers in the 25th century.
Hello, friend, and welcome to Borg Rogers 1.10 with Anne-Marie and Peter.
You're already sounding very drunk.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Hello, friend.
Yeah, this episode, it needed it beer. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think we've hit a new level on this.
Yeah. Get it on.
Cruise Ship to the Stars, written by Alan Bennett and Anne Collins again. The episode apparently is meant as a take on Love Boat, but having never seen Love Boat, I'm not even sure it was in this country, I've got no idea. Directed by Sigmund Neufeld, who previously did Vegas in Space, and that won't be the first Vegas in Space reference either.
No.
The luxury liner, the Lyran Queen, took off from here 2 days ago with a highly publicized passenger aboard, Miss Cosmos.
Miss Cosmos? A beauty pageant winner? Don't tell me you people still go in for that sort of thing.
Well, beauty contests are much more sophisticated than they used to be. It's what's inside that counts. Literally.
Oh, yes, indeed. Genetically speaking, Miss Cosmos is closer than anyone to the perfect example of the female human in this quadrant.
So, there's a big bollock ship.
Right, this is our next Vegas in Space reference. The Lyran Queen. It's mostly a new model, but when you see the close-ups of the forward section with the docking bay, that we saw before in Vegas in Space is Sinaloa, which was supposed to be on a planet, I think.
Okay.
It never made any sense, but it makes much more sense as the docking bay for the Lyran Queen anyway. Annoyingly, either has credits or shots from inside superimposed on it. It's quite hard to get a good shot of. And inside the corridors are a redress of the Draconias, which were
Yes, I did think so.
Yeah, a redress of the Galactica's corridors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they get their money's worth from those sets.
Yeah. And as a cruise ship, it's got a swimming pool deck.
Obviously, yes. Which is quite impressive how they've recreated that in a studio.
Yeah, it looks quite a deep swimming pool, actually.
Yeah.
But the water's a bit of a hideous colour and looks like a lot of people have pissed in it.
Possibly they had. Probably had no chlorine or anything in it, so yeah.
Yum. You get to meet Miss Cosmos. Fuck's sake.
Yes. Played by Dorothy Stratton. Now, this is quite sad. She was a Playboy playmate, but she was murdered at the age of 20 by a jealous ex just after filming the story, actually. Adding to the book connection, she was played by Jamie Lee Curtis in a biopic of her life.
Oh.
Initially, I thought she was a really bad actor, but that's partly just because she's being badly dubbed, basically.
Yeah.
By Anne Lockhart, who will be seeing in a few episodes' time, but is best known to us as Sheba from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the problem is that dubbing always kills most performances. So.
It does. They do it to the Hammer women sometimes,
Yeah.
don't they?
So I'm not going to hold that against the late Stratton, but there we go.
No. But the thing is, I don't warm to the character particularly because somebody comes up to put something over her spangly bikini of diamonds and she just sort of shrugs it off so she's not even wearing it over her shoulders. What was the fucking point of that?
And she's talking to the captain of the ship, who's played by Brett Halsey, who was in Godfather Part 3, so not the good one, Automan, yes, Knight Rider, Airwolf, and he had 3 different roles in Dukes of Hazzard.
Wow.
There's a CV.
Yeah. Have I told you about me and the Dukes of Hazzard?
You getting your butt stuck trying to do the going in for the window. We all did that, but not all of us got our butt stuck, it has to be said.
No, in the church car park.
Hey, what of all the places to do it? Excellent. If you've not seen Dukes of Hazzard, and to be honest, you know, when we quite often talk about programmes not standing up, I suspect that's going to be very high up, considering it's all about, you know, Southern independence type.
Which we in the UK as kids would have just watched and not had a fucking
No clue of the history of that one, but yes,
No.
very unfortunate with, you know, the car called the General Lee, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Yay, the good old boys fighting for slavery and whatnot.
But we never would have picked any
Well,
of that up
none of
as
them.
children in this
But anyway,
country.
the damn car had its doors welded shut, so they used to go in and out through the windows, and that was immensely cool as a kid for some reason. So
Unless you get stuck.
yes.
And have to be rescued by the organist.
Wow.
He was
Rescued by the Organist is not a bad title.
okay. So, yeah, Miss Cosmos, in some fucking terrible dialogue, name drops the Illyrian Queen or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
Illyrian Queen, yeah.
It's just,
It's really badly written, isn't it?
It's just
and
terrible.
so badly delivered because it's dubbed, and it's like, oh, what are we watching already?
Yeah. And then you have this woman who's wearing tape, it looks like, as half of her outfit.
Sabrina.
We don't know her name at this point.
No, but that's who it turns out to be with her laser fingers.
Yes, and she attacks with, laser fingers and crimped hair. What the fuck?
It's played by Trisha Noble. She's Australian, but acted in the United Kingdom for a while, appearing in such classy fare as The Dick Emery Show.
Wow.
No, I'm not explaining that one. It's Tommy Cooper. Up Pompeii.
Wow.
Pompeii, up Pompeii. I never seem to get it all. Up Pompeii, Pompeii, salute, naughty, naughty. Up Pompeii.
And Carry On Camping. So there's a CV to die for.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to the States and cropped up in Colombo. So immediately got classier. And believe it or not, she plays Amidala's mom in Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Presumably having relocated down under, because that was all filmed in Australia, wasn't
Yeah,
it? So,
and without crimped hair, presumably.
But we've got a cool Jekyll and Hyde concept going on. That's quite a nice idea.
Ish.
It's really badly realised, but it's a
That's
nice idea.
okay, yeah. That was my issue with it, and I was going to come on at one of the scenes because that's just bad. But she goes to attack, but then seemingly she's got a problem with a door shutting, and then oh no, it doesn't work anymore. I didn't understand that. Right, this is right the very first time she tries. She's trying to get through the door, and then it shuts, and then so she just walks away. What is the problem with a shut door to her? Can't she? Because it's got a little thing on it, which I presume is like a lock. But if she can blast shit with her fingers, why doesn't she blast the lock and open the door?
I don't know. I can't remember now because there were many other things in this episode that gradually melted my brain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, later on they put that force field in, but
that's
this is
not there at that
not
point,
this
and
point.
that's why I
But she's
don't-
foiled initially, isn't she?
Yeah.
But I can't remember. That feels like a lifetime ago. It feels like it's before COVID. Yeah.
Before booty.
Booty, booty, booty.
Booty, booty, booty.
And then back in New Chicago, Bucky's playing cards, which they don't do anymore apparently, so Tweaky's made them. And Colin says, I will spindle.
Spindle.
What the
That's
fuck?
that's what I'm calling it from now on. I'm spindling. I mean, it's not even close, is it?
No.
Well, it's just a random word he's come up with. I'm going to call it spindling. Maybe I'll get away with it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I mean, if you didn't say I crease or something
Yeah,
like that,
that was
that
just
would have
like
been more
fold,
logical.
yeah.
Yes. But spindle?
Spindle? What's that about? It's like, okay, fine.
He's not in this enough, sadly. He's so
No.
good. So wasted.
And then Wilma says, oh, I fold. Buck having explained the term. And Buck's like, oh, look, I win. I've got 3 knives. They've got a horrible typeface, these cards.
Yeah, of course, because everything in this show has a bad typeface. It's a typeface nightmare from start to finish.
Yeah. It's it's a font of crap.
I mean, you think Comic Sans is bad? That's got nothing
No.
on Buck Rogers.
No. No. And then Tweaky goes, hold your horses, I think he says.
Probably.
And Theo says, what is it? 5 cards of a I don't know. He
Yes,
describes a
5
royal
pictorial cards in a consecutive
sequential order or something like
yeah,
that.
it's
the
something
same
really
colour.
wank, isn't it?
It's just like, oh, a royal flush then, okay. So Tweaky wins. And then, really badly, Wilma and Colin are trying to sort of
It's
surreptitiously...
so subtle, isn't it? I
Oh.
remember If it wasn't for the fact that Buck is obviously really stupid, somebody would have picked up on it. But it's the whole business about, oh yes, you'll be particularly effective because you're not one of our agents. How can he not be one of their agents? He's done every mission so far.
And sometimes wears the fucking uniform.
Exactly. It's like everybody knows who the hell Buck Rogers is in the whole galaxy by now,
yes,
surely.
Silly. What I do like about this, though, when they're talking about the mission, is that Buck asks Wilma for help.
Yes, that's great.
I liked that. But the whole fucking concept of a genetic beauty contest.
Yeah, because beauty pageants are so much more sophisticated in the future, apparently, because it's all about what's inside. Yeah, that makes it better. Wait.
The thing is, because of course Buck is apparently the genetically perfect male, isn't he, according to Adala?
Well, that's just according to Adala. She's clearly really messed up.
Yeah, that's true. But that just really made me feel that's like, hey, let's have the eugenics prize.
Exactly.
It's
all
horrible.
about eugenics, isn't it?
Really, really horrible.
She has a body of staggering genetic value. It's like,
Oh.
wow. Yeah.
No! 1,000 times no! Sorry, must have more beer. There isn't enough beer in the world.
Not enough beer for this episode.
So fucking glad we didn't do this on our anniversary, I tell you.
Oh, wow. That would have been a bit of a... Yeah. Would have... Yes, let's just not go there.
Oh. Get it on.
Get it on with Booodiboodi. Is it a booty call?
Yes.
Is that what Twiki gets? A booty call?
Yes.
Yay!
It's a Booodiboodi call. It's a Booodiboodi call. It's a Booodiboodi day. It's a Booodiboodi call. It's a Booodiboodi call. It's a Booodiboodi call. It's a Booodiboodi day. It's a Booodiboodi call. Please hang up.
Now we can get it on.
That's a tune, anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure I wanted it, but yeah.
No, not a great fan either, but it does kind of fit, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a shame that it does, but yeah.
That might be one of those that we just use for the end of the episode, but don't forget to put on the playlist.
Yes, it's not available on Spotify.
Yes, we've decided. Maybe I can find somebody who's done a really good cover version of it from Croatia or something.
Oh, that Ukrainian folk band.
Yeah. Surely they must have done Booty Call.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So then you have Buck going on mission in a seriously manky tracksuit.
Yeah, that's his disguise. He's wearing a crappy 80s tracksuit.
Oh, man, it's bad.
And I'm surprised you didn't say Kevin Keegan on the back.
Yes! What? Yes. Well, no, because Wilma's got the fucking Kevin Keegan hair,
mullet.
isn't she?
Yeah, she's got the mullet. He's got the tracksuit. Between them, they make Kevin Keegan.
Oh.
Wow, that's a topical reference, isn't it, folks?
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah. Down with the kids.
Booty, booty, booty.
Stop it.
And so Buck is asked to report to the bridge, and they're installing the special gadget from Theo, which is against the woman's powers. She can't use them. Buck introduces himself, and she gets her two guards, which include Porntash Man.
Oh, wait till you hear what their names are. Cause
Oh, no, God, right, no, because...
I don't know which is which, but one is Gammon. So he's obviously from Welling. And,
he's Porntash Man.
Yeah, and the other one's Marek. So there you go.
Yeah, no, Marek is the black dude, and Gammon is Porntash Man.
Oh, boy.
When he's not in uniform, you just know he wears grey slacks with flared bottoms.
And he's a bouncer.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Name's not on the list. Not coming in.
People from Welling don't sound like Brummies, love.
Sorry, that was just me doing my troglodyte impression.
I need more beer.
Yeah.
So, after Gammon and his mate leave, I can't believe that's his name.
It is Gammon.
Buck is admiring her amazing painting of spiders. What?
Just drop some paint on a page.
It looks like a child's finger painting, doesn't it? Anyway, it's just terrible. And then you get to meet the other two main characters in this story, starting with Hideous Shell Suit Man.
Yeah.
It's another guy with a pawntash. His name is Jay.
J-Law Davin is his full name.
Gaylord Davin.
No, J-Law, obviously.
Oh.
Right, his nickname would have been Gay, and that would have been interesting.
That shell suit is... Oh!
He's played by Lee McCloskey, who we've seen in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
No.
Yes.
What was he in that?
He was Duran Dax in Field of Fire, the 7th season one, so he's the second actor to play
Duran,
yeah. Duran, yeah.
Okay.
He was also the titular warlord from the Voyager season 2 episode.
Right.
And he was one of the Timotei telepaths from Babylon 5's 5th season, which we've watched one episode of and then stalled because it's the 5th season of Babylon 5 and it doesn't get good until about halfway in.
We haven't even watched the first.
I thought we'd watched the first one.
No,
we're not even done that.
The kids just went, no.
Well, how can they say no if they've not seen it?
Because they just didn't want to.
Anyway, he plays a slimy gaslighter really well.
In a shell suit.
In a shell suit, yes.
And later on, even worse.
In his goggles, you'll get to that.
Overalls, goggles and a swimming hat, because obviously...
It's his disguise. Oh. Nobody will spot him wearing that.
Yeah.
And then we've got Alison Michaels.
Yep.
Played by Kimberly Beck. BJ Count 1, everybody. Yeah.
I don't want to know about BJs and Booodiboodi.
She was also in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, which is film 4 of 10, or 12, depending on what you count as canon. She also had a small role in Independence Day, so you might have been recognising her from that.
I did recognise her. Yeah.
But at least she's decently dressed.
Yes.
In this scene.
Yeah, not later. She's getting headaches and flashes of memory. But she doesn't realise the memory. She's getting headaches and flashes, and she clearly isn't well. And then you're back in the swimming pool again.
Did you spot the luggage bot, by the way?
No.
That's in practically every episode, yeah.
No, I know it. I know the one you mean, but no, I didn't spot it.
There's also reference on the overhead speakers to Sutter's World.
Yes.
Which has definitely been mentioned before in this.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. You can tell the script writers were writing this episode, couldn't you?
Yes. So then you're back in the pool, and there's far too many men in hideous gold Speedos.
Yes, it's frightening, isn't it? At certain points, some of them have got skin-coloured swimming trunks on, so it's like they're not wearing anything. It's like, oh my gosh.
Just, terrible. And that's where you get to see Wilma in a purple thing.
So purple.
Really nice colour, but the design's hideous. And you can see her pants / leotard, whatever it is she's wearing.
Pants, I think, but yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Look at my pants! Wow. He's playing Rhea Durant. I'm not keen on the wig, has to be said.
It's terrible.
And as Sprog 2 pointed out, it does rather look like your mother's hair. Which
does.
It's really distracting, that being on Wilma Deering.
And it's a really nice shade of purple, but the outfit's horrible, and so is the hair.
Yeah, it's literally designed to show off your pants.
Yeah. And some hideous bloke appears in...
Oh, this is Gurney Langston Jr.
Yeah.
Played by Timothy O'Hagan, who had a very short acting career, during which he played a Viper pilot in Galactica 1980. Equality. And most importantly, BJ Count 2!
Anyway, he turns around and says, "You are everything I want in life." Which is just so vomit-inducing. But Wilma turns around and says, and can't have, which I like as a nice...
Snap, Wilma.
Nice.
She's great in this episode again.
She is. But then she sort of, she's playing hard to get, and she lets him say he's going to take her for dinner. Meanwhile, my notes, I'm afraid, they don't have any plot in, because this is where it all goes wrong. My next two notes are Buck's moob.
Oh, God, yeah, he's sat there with, as per usual, his top open right to his belly, and he's got his man boob just hanging out there. Oh, really? That's not a good look, Buck. It really isn't.
Followed by
Booodiboodi.
Booodiboodi. Yes, it is the one with the female Tweaky, who I did have memories of. Yeah. You remember the roller skating? I remembered the female Tweaky. And who could forget I mean, the lips. Oh, why would somebody design a droid like this? She's called Tina. You get it? Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's by Petty Maloney, who's a waitress in Ice Pirates. Hey, quality film. Which would be her most awesome role if she wasn't also Lumpy, Chewie's son from the Star Wars Holiday Special. I mean, we've had a run of really bad CVs, but this one beats them all.
This is terrible.
She's also in Star Trek Voyager. It's one of the clown's creations in the Thor. And she's in the Addams Family film as well. Or one of them, anyway.
Now, is that the actor portraying or the actor speaking?
Now, she's voiced by Grace Gaynor, who was married to one of the show's producers. Oh, there you go. But had also acted in 60s Batman, playing Penguin's assistant Chickadee. There's one for Dave Probert. And she added to her DC reputation by appearing in Wonder Woman. And was in both Fletch and Fletch Lives. Hey, quality films. Well, I've got a soft spot for them, but anyway. Chevy Chase. Wow. But anyway, Tweaky's in there.
Oh, God. It's just...
Why do they program these things to fall for each other? It's just so bizarre.
And, yeah, and it's all...
Booty, booty. Booty, booty, booty. Booty, booty, booty.
Why does she fucking say booty, booty? Of all the fucking things to say, just no.
Because that's obviously what a female Tweaky would say. Obviously. And does so in a very husky way. I was just like, oh, why would you do this?
I don't. And the thing is, there's this whole fucking subplot about the two of them dating.
Yeah, but all the way through this episode, they're just getting off with one another.
Yes. And he says things like, let's get it on.
Yeah.
And you're like,
no, I didn't need to think about
let's
that.
not get it on. Let's not.
And Sprog too, just all the way. I wish we could have taken pictures of this, but it wouldn't be fair on them. But all the way through, she's got her hands on her face, going, "No,
Yeah.
Why would you do this to me?"
Yeah.
We would probably be had up for child abuse for showing her this.
Yeah.
This is kids' television, folks, in the 1980s. But...
Oh no, they were just cringing and just no and why and then at one point they did actually turn around to both of us and go, "Why do you traumatize me?"
Yeah. So I think we need to get them a T-shirt printed now with a picture of Booodiboodi on it and Tina and the strap line. Why do you traumatize me?
Yeah. Yeah.
On to Redbubble.
Yes. And then I'm afraid I am just... It is Buck's moob. Booody, force field stops her. I've missed plot because I was just so... couldn't handle it and drank beer as fast as I could.
Well, you've missed out Buck and his space fork.
Oh, fucking hell, yes.
Yes, cutlery that attracts the food to it. That's a good idea. And not going to result in mess at all.
With comedy side effect.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, space forks. And then Buck has to reposition Theo because he wants to ogle at Miss Cosmos because, that's what robots do.
Apparently.
And again, Sprog 2's like, oh, I thought he was the good one.
Yes!
So, yeah, that all happens. Then we got Jay wearing a bizarre white get-up with goggles and a swimming cap.
It's just so fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that supposed to be his disguise? Because he sticks out like a sore thumb. He should have just worn a pair of Speedos.
It's
and you can still see his stupid tash. So
yeah.
Everybody knows it's him.
He's almost like Gimp gear, but in white rather than black.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
He inspects the force field guarding Tara. Buck accosts him and gets shot at. But Jay has a blind bomb and escapes. You can tell the script editors are writing this one, can't you? Because these reoccurring tropes.
Blind bomb, yep.
Buck orders some sonic pistols from Dr. Hewer to combat Sabrina. So he's basically just Amazon for this episode, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And the captain complains about Tweaky's rampant libido, Which is a cheek coming from Buck, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, at one point, when they're dancing with fucking skipping ropes, because...
Oh, that comes up later, because, yes, next scene, we've got the latest terrible disco. We've moved on from roller skates and we're on to dancing around rope now. Oh. And Tina's wearing a feather boa because, of course.
And Tweaky says, Buck taught me everything I know.
Yeah, and does a butt thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh. And they include this metal clanging sound effect.
Yeah. Sabrina is eyeing up Wilma's jewels, so to speak, and follows her out, somehow then getting ahead of her. This happens a lot in this episode.
I don't understand
How do these
that.
corridors work?
Don't
make any
know.
sense. The Colonel is zapped and thrown into the wall pretty brutally, it has to be said.
It does quite often with fights, particularly in this era of telly.
And this show as well. Yeah.
But just generally in this era of telly, telly more than film, the fights often look rubbish, and you just think the people
most
don't
of the
get
fights
hurt.
in this show look rubbish. This one actually
It
looks really
looks like
crunching.
it fucking hurts.
And it's like bloody, Wilma in this, reveal all dress, and Sabrina with a half sellotape dress. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Buck finds Wilma, and it's revealed the crystals.
The moon crystals.
The moon crystals, yes, should be easily traced. But Sabrina apparently is so powerful she's able to jam it with her butt or something. I don't know.
I don't know. No.
And Buck jumps to the conclusion that she's a mutant shape changer, as you do.
Yeah, just randomly.
Yeah.
He's had a few conversations with Alison, hasn't he? Where she's been complaining about her headaches and saying, and we know the memory she's having, but she hasn't mentioned that to Buck.
There's
She
no
says
reason that Buck should be
nightmares.
jumping to his conclusion.
She says nightmares. She doesn't say memories at all. So I think you can say that he's clocked Jay as a bad un. But logically, bearing in mind what he actually knows, what he should think is that Alison doesn't know her boyfriend is an arse.
Yeah.
Not Alison is a mutant. That's where is he getting that from?
I have no idea. In this episode, he's got all the answers because he is Buck Rogers. Tweaky comes in and his batteries are flat.
Oh, yeah, this is just fucking
Hopefully
awful.
from dancing. Just dancing, please.
Oh. Oh, man. Just...
Buck goes to see Alison, who's distraught because she thinks she's going insane, seeing Sabrina's assaults in her mind. When Buck leaves for help, Sabrina returns and zaps him, and Jay turns up. Captain is stressing over Miss Cosmos's disappearance. Buck and Wilma order scans of docking ships, but he's more worried about the company's reputation, which is very telling, isn't it?
Yeah.
In true James Bond style, they've got Tina strapped to a table with a big laser standing by to dissect her. Wow. There's a dude from the crew who's aiding them, who's completely unnamed in the credits, and they're planning to bump him off anyway, so I don't know why they bothered including him, but there we go. Sabrina reverts to Alison, and we get more gaslighting from Jay. She wants to leave for Earth. Theopolis confirms Sabrina stroke Alison is a transmute, and the sonic...
That's what they said for Thing.
For Thing.
Battle of the Planets, transmute.
Oh, yes, that's right, it is, but I'm sure they hadn't seen that at this point.
Okay.
Anyway, the sonic pistols turn up from Amazon stroke Hewer, and we cut away before Buck can explain his plan to Wilma. So generally that means it's going to work. They did wrong foot us on this in Planet the Amazon Women, but as it turns out, no, they're following the usual cliche this time. We return to the disco, where they're now dancing with really badly around polystyrene crates. I think left over from Cosmic Whiz Kid.
Oh, okay.
Remember when he turned up in all those crates? Yeah, I think that's what these are, just painted blue.
They're sort of blue, badly put together towers of polystyrene.
Shaky
or something.
polystyrene, and they're dancing around. The dance moves are just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Dad Dancing has nothing on this.
No. We started doing the actions and Sprogdu was just...
Did you ever do that thing where you had to dissect a frog and then use electric on it to make the limbs move?
No.
That's basically what this dance is. It is the electrified dead frog.
Right. No, I was vegetarian by then and
All
said
right.
I refused to
passed on
experiment on
it, didn't you?
animals. And I can't remember what I did instead. I think I
I bet
went
they
to the
don't do
library
that
and
in
read a
schools
book.
anymore.
I hope not.
Pretty grim, wasn't
But,
it?
I mean, I got to go to the library and read a book, so win.
Yeah. Buck pops by Alison and Jay, challenging him with his criminal past and his plans for her. She turns herself into Sabrina, which is an interesting move, to whoop Jay's butt. I mean, it's really incredible. She throws him across the room.
Yeah, I love that.
I presume it's a stunt performer at that point, but it looks really cool. There are aspects of this story that are really excellently done. And then there's... She storms out dramatically. Tweaky and Co zap her with the sonic gun, causing her to run into the force field, which somehow reverts her to Alison, because of course.
It did the first time.
Did it? Yeah, it did.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah. But apparently she's gone for good or something now. And she struggles to remember where Tina is, whilst the laser cuts around Miss Cosmos for some reason, rather than just going straight for it. Just cuts up a bit of the table. It's just the whole
Weird.
Bond film thing, isn't it? Thankfully, Alison remembers in time, enabling Buck to rescue her. It's nice that it takes all three of the goodies to save the day this time, because they have to sort of trap Sabrina running around those bizarre corridors where you can get ahead of somebody just by going in the opposite direction.
Weird.
I mean, Escher designed this spaceship, basically.
Yeah,
didn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
We will see considerably more of this ship in season 2. That's all I'm going to say on that front, okay?
Fair enough.
Yes. Hewer lets Buck and Co know that Alison has been cured. So that's presumably Sabrina gone for good, is it? Is that ethical? I'm not sure. I mean, obviously Sabrina was a bad one, but it's a bit of a difficult one, this, because there's no sort of real sense of what's going on in terms of the Jekyll and Hyde thing. Who's the real person? Well, hopefully it's Alison, because they've just murdered the other one.
But
it's Buck Rogers' version of
Dr. Jekyll and Sister
No,
Hyde.
no. It's Buck Rogers' version of from Voyager.
Voyager. Why would I want to remember that?
Neelix and Tuvok. Tuvix. It's Buck Rogers' version of Tuvix. Dr. Hewer is Janeway. Ba-ba-ba!
Except it's not, because at no point have they created a new thing. I think
No,
that
they've separated out and lost one of them.
No, I'm not sure they have, because the impression I got, based mostly on my fairly recent watching of the very excellent Hammer film, which I think is called Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, but it must be.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen that recently?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been ages since I've seen that.
Oh, I'll happily watch it again.
Did I fall asleep through it or something again?
No, I watched it with someone else.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Because it is a really cool Hammer
It's
film.
really cool. Really good film, and that was kind of what I was thinking of, reminded of a lot of the time while watching this. Couldn't tell you which came first, I presume.
I mean, as
Hammer.
Jim would rightly point out, this is, of course, badly misunderstanding Jekyll and Hyde, the original. Because...
Yeah, the original one, it's just ridiculous, because the actual book, I think it's a book, or is it a novella?
Yeah, it's a book originally, and the whole idea is this guy's way of ensuring that you can have a really nasty time, basically.
By disguising himself, yeah. Whereas with Sister Hyde, it's more of a bit like part of your personality taking over. So I'm going to do a shout out now, because it makes sense to the latest Shonky Lab, which has got a fucking old title that I can't remember, but it's all about Freud. And it talks about the id and the superego.
How do we get from Booodiboodi to
Right.
Freud? Oh my gosh.
Bear with me. I'm drunk and can't remember the terms, and my frame of reference, instead of study of my own, is an episode of the Shonky Lab. So you need to bear this in mind. But there's a part of you that the rest of you suppresses. And the part of you that the rest of you is suppressing is the part that just says, I want. The way that Sabrina says, I want those jewels, so I'm going to have them. I want this, so I want it. So you've got two parts of the same person's personality. And I think that's what we're seeing, because Alison is so meek, so timid.
I mean, we've seen this before, haven't we? What am I thinking where the person splits himself into an evil and good... Yeah, it's that Star Trek episode where Kirk gets split by the transporter.
Right.
And apparently he needs the evil rapey side of himself to be a good captain.
Yeah, well, we haven't got rape here. It's
thankfully.
not.
But see previous episodes of Borgcast original series. For
but
that
it
one.
is the same concept. We haven't got rape here. We haven't got anything hideous, but we have got a thief who doesn't mind.
Actually, I think we're taking this episode of Buck Rogers far too seriously at this point. Yes, because let's just find out how this story ends. Okay, so that that whole getting rid of Sabrina thing all happens off screen. There's no exploration of this whatsoever. It's just
I just presumed
they're using the Jekyll and Hyde thing just for the purposes of.
I just presumed that the person had become integrated as a whole.
No, I really don't think they thought about this at all. But anyway.
Oh. Have you talked about the pitter-patter of tiny metal feet?
I haven't talked about that happens at some point, doesn't it? There's a reference.
It's just wrong in so many levels.
Tweaky and Tina are going to produce somehow baby robots.
Because
that's how robots work.
Yeah, because Buck says to Dr. Hewer that, or was it Theo says? I don't know. Somebody says at some point.
Yeah, Buck actually says he's worried about.
Their interest is purely physical, and it's like, how does that work? And then he says the pitter patter of tiny metal feet. It's just
no. No.
No.
Anyway, so Buck is matched up with Tara. Wilma is stuck with Gurney Langston Jr., which I think is really harsh. But she sat right next to him and he's like hanging out with him like he's one of the heroes. So that's not right. Of course, Tweaky has Tina. So they mess with their communicator so they can't be ordered home by Hewer because they want to hang out together. Now we can get it on, Tweaky says.
Oh, God.
So many questions.
I'm not sure I want the answers.
Yeah, apparently this is supposed to mirror Love Boat because in that groups of couples got together over the course of an episode. But, given that you've got Buck Rogers, how many hundreds of years old he is and so out of time,
with
it's
his
painful.
moobs.
With his moobs.
And his fucking tracksuit.
With Miss Universe, who's the most genetically, And then you've got poor old Wilma with that idiot. And then you've got Booodiboodi and Boodiboodi. I mean, oh dear. Poor old Theo's a bit left out at this point.
But he was quite happy ogling Miss Cosmos.
He wasn't he? Maybe he just wants to watch. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, voyeuristic computer who's all head.
So, yeah, I mean, clearly this is their take on Jekyll and Hyde. It's funny because suddenly Buck Rogers takes a right turn at this point and starts doing horror really badly. See next episode for more details.
Yeah.
But we've got Jekyll and Hyde this week. I mean, the character's fun. I like the Sabrina. So it's cheesy fun, isn't it?
No, I'm sorry. All the fucking Booodiboodi is just wrong.
No. The Booodiboodi's wrong. Yeah, but the good stuff is the Jekyll and Hyde stuff.
But the transformation, it's just... What happens is she puts her hands in front of her face so you can see her nails are comparatively short and they're rounded. Flash of red. Her nails are now pointy, slightly darker and a bit longer, and now she has fucking crimped hair and is a completely different person.
Yeah, it's subtly done, isn't it? Very subtly done.
No.
Jay, I think he's a really interesting character just because he gaslights Alison so badly. It's like, this was gaslighting before it was a real thing.
Well, no, because gaslighting comes from the Invisible Man, which...
Yeah, well, it was a thing, but in the 1980s it hadn't really, I don't think, anyway, entered the sort of popular consciousness in the way it is today.
No, okay, fair enough.
So in only this particular way, it feels like it's ahead of the times. Clearly, in many other ways, this episode is not. But anyway,
No.
Wilma's well used. I mean, I like the fact that she's backing Buck up, and she's got a bit of independence as well, which is good. Buck doesn't get topless, although we do.
We see the boob. It's just wrong.
Too much of his. Yeah, it's just. And it's not a bad story. It's just cheesy as heck. But the whole Tina Twinkie thing does rather ruin it all, doesn't it?
Oh,
what are they doing with Tweaky having a love interest? Who sat down in the the script and said, "I know what we need. We need a love interest for Tweaky."
The robot that looks like a dildo.
Dildo clearly needs another robot that looks like a dildo, but gold with inflatable doll lips. That's basically what it is. I mean, I suppose it could have been worse. Could have been pink. That would have been the logical way of it to go.
Could have had metal tits.
Yes, big metal boobies. That would have been a bit like the one from Spaceballs, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even so, and it just goes to places it really doesn't need to go.
Just no, it shouldn't.
My batteries are flat. Why?
No,
Why?
no.
The battery had tiny feet. What? How do they program robots? This is Buck Rogers at its most Buck Rogers.
And the fucking eugenics.
I know.
Cosmos.
Miss Cosmos, that's just so seedy and horrible,
it's
isn't it?
sick.
Yeah.
This episode is sick and wrong.
It's Buck Rogers at its most Buck Rogers, I'm pretty sure. Well, let's find out what other people thought if they survived watching this.
Apologies for the trauma. And we've heard from Jeff, who writes, "Love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. In space. Hopefully the rest of the world was spared the Love Boat.
We certainly were, yes.
Though I have a feeling it served as an inspiration for this episode.
It was,
did.
yes.
Yeah. This episode felt a little sparse to me, despite seeing scattered extras in the background. It seemed that there were only about 5 people on this ship. A couple of wacky aliens or side characters with some personality could have made things more lively.
Yeah, I suppose compared to previous episodes where there were those bizarre characters that were like introduced for 5 minutes and disappeared again, this doesn't really have that so much. But
No.
to be honest, I don't see that as a weakness. So.
No. The Sabrina Allison story was fairly fun, but it felt like a lost third season Star Trek original series story. In fact, the sound effects and visuals that accompanied the transitions were practically lifted from Trek wholesale. I much preferred Sabrina to Allison, as it was very fun seeing her being arch, throwing people around and shooting laser beams out of her hand. The other thing I really enjoyed was seeing Twiki get in on the action at the end, with Buck and Wilma using bootleg sonic screwdrivers to save the day.
That's one way of looking at them, yeah.
Yeah. There was the perfect amount of silly disco dancing too.
Oh, with ropes and polystyrene,
pillars.
columns.
Yeah. It was hilarious when Buck was being lauded as a perfect genetic specimen, but a little gross when a perfect Aryan ideal was being similarly promoted. That's 2 episodes in a row now, with genetic perfection being a plot point, where they're believers in eugenics on the writing staff.
You begin to wonder, don't you? Blimey.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad episode. Really?
It depends how you define bad, doesn't it?
It just felt a little dull to me.
Oh my gosh. Booodiboodi didn't do it for you then.
And the Twiki and Tina storyline made me think about robot sex a lot more than usual. And I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You see, you can't call it dull just for that reason. Disturbing, yes.
Hope the move went well. Oh, no, it hasn't happened yet.
No, you'll know when it happens because we'll probably go off air for a while.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to record such fantastic podcasts. Until next time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good to hear from you.
Yes.
And yes, Love Boat wasn't really a thing in this country that I'm aware of, but it may have been on ITV.
Or it may have been before our time.
Well, that's a nice thought, isn't it? That there might be things before our time.
I can live in hope.
Yes, we can, can't we? We've also heard from Sampo and Yona.
Oh, dear.
I know, what are they going to make of this?
I don't know.
Hello.
Hello.
We just watched Cruise Ship to the Stars.
And why?
No, come on. It wasn't. It was actually pretty fun.
It was nice.
What happens in it?
No, they are going on a cruise.
Still a bit of a coincidence that there's a genetically perfect woman now. That in just the last episode, we learned that Buck is the genetically perfect man. So,
but
bit of
just for some,
yes,
not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think it's annoying that they're just happy to have someone which is genetically perfect, and they don't even question that why or to whom, because it can't be so that there's just one type of genetically perfect thing.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Well, what doesn't make sense is, the villain woman who is a sort of strange version of the Hulk or something. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah, she smashes things. Now, is she like the imperfect genetic woman, or would she actually be more perfect genetically than the blonde one?
I think
Because
mutations
the perfect
are...
thing is always blonde.
I don't know. Maybe shape-shifting mutants are common because, Buck sure figured it out quickly. There's a powerful being. It must be some sort of mutant. It must have camouflage.
Only thing that came across his genetically perfect mind.
Yes, it must be a person with 2 physical personalities. That's the only logical thing that...
I just realized why Buck is so genetically perfect, because he has been like 500 years away from living, and he sure knows everything about their culture, like their dances.
What was the thing with the ropes? Okay, and
the next one was a Vogue stair.
Yeah, they were just posing in front of styrofoam things.
Yeah, but that's what people do in Vogue dancing.
So is it a real thing?
Of course it is.
Okay, is the rope thing a real thing?
Nope.
Well,
that's not what you're supposed to do with ropes.
Yeah, okay. So, what? Yeah. I'm starting to see a pattern with Dr. Hure. He's got the same role almost every week. At the beginning of the mission, he tells Buck or Wilma the mission. In the middle of the episode, he calls Buck or Wilma worriedly, and in the end, he's happy. And sometimes it's pea soup, but yeah.
They were always eating in this episode.
Yeah, yeah, the woman, I'm not feeling well, I'm sick, and the man or Buck is, come on, eat something. I don't know. Okay, but everyone was perving out in this episode. I mean, the moment the perfect woman saw Bucky, he was like, how could our genes mix? And well, actually, Buck was professional. He was just like, maybe later. And then in the end, when the mission was done, he was like, okay, I know how you can thank me now. Well, but I mean, fine. She was the one who made the advance in the first place, so why not? And I mean, Tweak, he's been fine for many episodes, but now he was
at least he found one of his kind.
True. No mixing of the species.
No.
Just Booodiboodi. I mean, was she supposed to say booty?
Why would she say booty? Maybe she likes like robot asses.
Maybe. Or the helmet on the head.
Hardcore metallic.
Little metal feet. Even Theopolis was perving out on the woman. I mean, when he asked Buck to rotate him, I mean, I knew where it was going, but I mean, I assumed there would be some sort of attractive computer head thing there with, makeup and a smile and pink LEDs, but no, it was a...
Like the one we saw earlier that was always angry.
Yeah, but like that, but
like
pretty.
With boobies.
Yeah, so many boobies in this episode.
Yeah, nothing but boobies.
I don't know what else to say, but the plot was... But I mean, there was lots of fun stuff in this. I mean, it kept us entertained, even though the plot made almost no sense. With the Bond table laser at the end, the very slow laser. So let's leave her to her very slowly approaching impending doom and just walk out. Can't think. Can you? Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts.
I will take that as a no. No. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I'm so glad we've exported this to Finland. we deserve some sort of award for this.
I think more likely we'll get punishment after this. I mean, this is not what you're supposed to do with ropes, is it?
Yeah. Well done, Jonna, for making this episode even more geeky.
Yes. Everyone is perving out. Maybe she does like robot arses. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I love the idea of a female Theo that, I mean, not boobs, that's obviously not going to work.
But it would be eyelashes, wouldn't it?
It would be massive eyelashes, that's what it would be. Yeah, and pink, obviously.
Yeah. With a bow on the top.
Yes, quite possibly. But yes, they were voguing, weren't they? That's what that whole boop boop dance was all about. They're voguing out, yeah.
Yeah.
That was stupid, wasn't it?
And, Buck does figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, he goes from beginning of the episode, usual Buck stupid, can't realise that he's been conned into doing this job, to suddenly figuring the entire plot out halfway through the episode, given no evidence whatsoever.
None.
Yeah.
What did Drew and Tracy make of this?
So that was Cruise Ship to the Stars.
Yes.
And what do we think of that one then?
Oh, it's a similar kind of hilarious kind of hijinks.
Fromage-tastic.
Yes, obviously.
From start to finish. So yeah, let's talk through some points then.
Okay.
So Buck and the Beauty Queen.
Yep, Miss Cosmos.
Yeah, he's never gonna have to protect someone who's going to the loony bin or something, can't they? I mean, that's just...
No.
He always gets the hottie.
Yep.
But I thought he was quite mean for them to be talking about Miss Cosmos being the most genetically
she's not only the most
perfect
genetically
woman.
perfect woman, but she's got a cracking pair of knocks on her as well.
Yeah, and they're talking about that in front of Wilma.
I know, I was like that as well, yeah.
If I was, I'd be like, hello.
I'm here. We liked Alison, Sabrina, the changeover, didn't we? Someone's been watching another hit of the late 70s, The Incredible Hulk.
Absolutely.
They even got the trumpets.
The music was a little bit similar when she was changing.
Yeah.
And also when she was changing back into Alison, it was almost like sun goes down, sun goes down.
Yeah,
we was quite laughing at that one, weren't we?
Yep, it's good though.
Absolutely. So Twiki and Goldie.
Yep. They've not got any genitals, have they?
What are they going to do? Give each other a fucking oil change?
I don't know.
Get it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's quite cute, but I didn't quite get it. What are they going to... I don't know.
I've no idea either.
Can he even get, like... Do they understand?
I'd just leave
He's
it
a
there.
robot, isn't he? I don't... yeah, it's too, like, complicated.
The music on the disco, when I was... The first lot of music, when I was in the string, was really good. Oh, yeah, this is good. It sounded a bit like George Moroder kind of stuff. It was great.
They have got some serious mad-assed choreographer.
But, yes, the second lot, when the bollards, they've gone from the string to the bollards, that was awful.
They were voguing on a bollard.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. They have seriously got some mad-ass I can't even say the word.
Choreographer.
Working on this show, because where do you get all these dances from with
I
like
don't know.
rope and now the bollards? It's mad.
We didn't like Wilma's perm, did we? It's
She
not a
looked
great
like
look.
Joan Collins.
And also, she seemed to be weakened, didn't she? She got beat up, and we was like, oh, no,
she
not
was
Wilma.
against like Sabrina the Witch.
Yeah.
So how can you do
guess so.
that? But didn't she want to get beaten up because she had to steal the diamonds? Didn't she?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like Wilma was underpowered in this episode.
Yeah. I was glad the captain, like at the beginning, when he came in to see Miss Cosmos, he was wearing like a plastic bib on the front of his uniform because he was fucking drooling.
He was,
wasn't he?
yep.
I saw him keep looking at her knockers.
Yep.
And also when her kind of servant came up and like put that thing around her, I thought she was going to put like a little coat or a little jacket on, and then she just put it around her arms.
Just
What's
around
the
her
point in that?
shoulders. They velcroed her down, didn't they? She could have got up.
I don't understand why she didn't just go wah and lift up her arms.
It was a total James Bond plan, wasn't it? So we're not going to kill you now. We're going to leave like this laser that's not going to go off until
This
a bit later,
big
and then it's going to start
red
shooting up the
throbbing
table first. So
laser.
right, James Bond plan, wasn't it?
Indeed. So why did Sabrina's boyfriend? I have to call her
Jay.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
You know, it's not Alison.
We
When he
knew
was
Jay
wearing-
was a baddie because he was wearing black, wasn't he?
Indeed, but when he kind of turned up and he was wearing that white hat that kind of completely covered his hair, and he had like these bug-eyed glasses on, he looked like a fly.
It was the Bono's glasses
Initially,
wasn't it?
but then I realised that it had a nose guard.
I know, it
So-
protects your nose from the UV
But
rays
how
as
was
well.
he breathing? Because his mouth was closed when he was standing.
You can breathe through at the bottom of it.
But then you'd be like,
yeah, maybe.
I didn't get that. He just looked ridiculous. I quite liked it.
Yes.
It was like
Yeah, it was good.
fantastic. I'm not quite sure what
It's
the
a crazy
swimming pool,
caper.
like,
Oh, yeah,
thing
yeah.
kind of had about it.
Yeah,
but
that's what you do on a cruise. You go swimming, don't you, in the middle of the universe, galaxy, yeah.
instead of jumping in the sea, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I
fun
like them all
episode.
because I just take them as they are.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, should we leave it there?
Okie dokie.
Take it easy, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. I think they're getting into the swing of this now.
But of all the episodes to suddenly decide you like Buck Rogers.
But this is the most Buck Rogers episode. I can't help it.
But yeah, they've not got any genitals.
No, that's...
Maybe they're like Crichton, they have attachments.
Yes, maybe. But then what does Tina have? No, let's just not go there. Yeah, voguing on a bollard.
Yeah.
There's a phrase.
Yeah.
And this is our second Incredible Hulk reference. I just had a quick look, and that was out in 1978, so it's quite possible that they're
Yeah,
referencing
they might be deliberate,
the
yeah.
Incredible Hulk here, yes.
And he, in his stupid outfit of goggles, lab coat, swimming hat, he did look a bit like the Fly, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he didn't look that good. But yes, that whole thing when they leave the room with a laser on, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, you're doing that?
There is a Bond film where it's going to cut him in the nads, isn't there?
Yeah, the Goldfinger. Interesting enough, Child 2 actually referenced that. I wasn't even sure they'd seen it, but it was like, oh, this is very Goldfinger, isn't it? It's like, yes, that film was out before I was born, let alone you.
But we've shown them all of the Bonds.
Possibly, although we don't actually own Goldfinger, so I'm not sure we have.
No, but Ruth, your sister, does.
Ah, that might be why then. Okay.
We had at least one summer holiday where we did a Bond thing.
Uh-huh. And that's obviously stuck in the mind. There we go.
Well, quite possibly because they watched Austin Powers Gold Member and then probably rewatched Goldfinger, at a guess. What did Purry make of this?
Hello, Args. Purry here to talk about Cruise Ship to the Stars. Yeah. Not quite sure what I thought of this one. I'll probably come to a conclusion as I give feedback. For starters, the Great Injustices. Not only does the Draconia lose its theme tune in the last episode, but the cruise ship from the stars has its own theme, and it's not a very good one either. I think we've seen a bit of this cruise ship before as something else, but that opening scene where they kind of showed you all their sets for the episode, the disco and the pool and whatnot. I did like it. Always entertains me, and Buck Rogers is particularly a particular offender of this sci-fi discos. The fact that apparently, for all that people have been dancing badly without any props for many, many years, they still think that in the future all dances will have weird props, be it the rope dance or the later on giant stack of Parma Violets dance, which you see Buck and Wilma doing later. There's also this one, there is the Tina, the female Tweaky, who goes Booodiboodi. I don't want to talk about that anymore, to be honest. The Tweaky-Tina relationship was something that I don't really want to contemplate, so I'm kind of just going to block it out and maybe go to my happy place for a bit, rather than think about that. Sorry, back from that. So, the story is basically that there's some criminals on the cruise ship, and Buck and Wilma are there to try and catch them. But one of the criminals is actually, she's a superpowered woman, but she's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde character. There were a lot of awful clothes here. I mean, on the plus side, it does allow me to say spangly bikinis again, because yes, we had Miss Cosmos with her spangly bikini again from the Princess Ardala fashion range, and you had a lot of people in sort of futuristic leisure wear, including stuff that looked a lot like late 80s shell suits. I half expected them to start going, calm down. That's a terrible impression. But some weird shell suit almost like stuff, and the leisure wear was weird looking. I mean, Buck Rogers has always got a bit of an odd eye for fashion, but there were some particularly bizarre things in this one. Plot-wise, like I say, it's just them fighting. What I didn't like was Buck seemed to work out the whole sort of plot just off the top of his head with very little guiding him there. He knew there was something up with, I can't remember the lady's name, but there wasn't really anything beyond that he knew. He suddenly made the jumps of, well, she could be a shape-shifting mutant, or she could be one person. Hang on, now I've worked the whole thing out. And it was that's it just seemed Buck, to an extent. It was almost like, I know what's going on. Why, I've read ahead in the script, Wilma. I know what's, I know what, the sort of secret behind the baddie. I did work it out quite early. Again, it just made sort of sense to the way they were pitching it, and that her husband was a wrong one as well. No one with that moustache is particularly right. Overall, I didn't feel this one hit. Considering I've been quite enjoying Buck Rogers up till this point, I felt that this one was getting a bit into more what you expect in the Buck Rogers naffness. I think when I remember Buck Rogers, it's episodes like this I remember, with weird space discos and people swanning around in skimpy outfits and bad fashion and sort of over-the-top fight scenes and that sort of thing, and weird robot sex. This one, it was okay, but I didn't find it as fun. I think the problem is the series has set itself a high bar, and we are now watching some of these episodes going, well, actually, it's not great. Maybe not the best. We're kind of on a bit of a dip. We've peaked too early, perhaps. So all that remains for me to say is do keep up the good work. I always look forward to the podcast, and I hope to feedback in the next one. But until then, bye for now.
Bye, sir. I would argue we've hit a high point, personally, but a high point of low points. Yeah, rather more shell suits than I remembered in this series. It has to be said.
Yeah. Sorry you had to go to your happy place to block out the whole Tina and Tweaky thing.
But yeah, so many sci-fi discos, I remembered a couple, but not all of them by any means.
No, I remember.
Who knows? Maybe there are more to come.
Maybe there's even more with roller skates.
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I don't know where they're going. I mean, I never would have predicted skipping ropes and random polystyrene blocks. Where the fuck are they going next?
I'm trying to remember. In the pilot, there were the balls, weren't there?
Yeah.
Were there skipping ropes in that as well? Or was it just the balls? I can't remember.
It was just.
Yes, there we go. Well, there's no excuse to use a load of sparks anyway. Yes. Well, next time, recording on Thursday the 9th of September, continuing the horror theme, having done Jekyll and Hyde, I wonder what you can guess which horror classic they're taking with Space Vampire.
Oh dear.
Yes. Both featuring one of the lamest takes on a Nosferatu-style vampire ever committed to celluloid. If you've not seen this episode yet, do Google Borg Rogers Space Vampire just for a real treat.
Images, yeah. It's reminding me of a cartoon character, and maybe one of our listeners can help me. The cartoon character, I think, has only got one tooth, but otherwise pretty much looks like this Buck Rogers Space Vampire.
Yeah. I can't wait. I really can't wait. So there we are. I actually remember it being quite good, but that memory cheats.
I've
badly.
got no idea. I've lost the plot. I'm drunk.
Right, so we'll catch you next time. Cheery bye.
Bye.
Bring it on, 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 bring it on now, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on.
The voiceover for Borg Rogers was provided by Michael David Sims from Earth2.net.
The Buck Rogers theme was played by Drew Barker. All other music is used for illustrative purposes only, and no copyright infringement is intended.
The artwork for this podcast was created by Andy Palastides.
To contact us, send emails or MP3s to borgcast@gmail.com.
Contact us via Twitter at rev_org or Borgcastammo. #Borgcast.
Visit our website at galactica.libsyn.com.
Or view images relating to our cast on our Tumblr site, borgcast.tumblr.com.
You can join our Facebook page. And there's also a Spotify playlist with all our play-out tunes on it.
It's just a booty call. Bring it on, 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 bring it on now, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on.
Shut it down!
Now we can get it on.